Vandy at Georgia Tech. It could be interesting, but it also could be a bit difficult to watch.
Yeah, and here's the thing: triple option versus 3-4 defense. Kind of. This could be this again. It could be an ugly game. But here's the thing: I think Tech. We've seen Shermer has not been for Vanderbilt. The quarterback has not been very effective. I love Webb. We all love Webb. If he was on another team in the SEC right now, we'd be talking about him being one of the better running backs in the conference. That being said, the quarterback play has been atrocious. I think their defense has been pretty good, for Vanderbilt. But that being said, right now, I can't see them beating a team like Tech. This early in the season, because the offense just doesn't have an identity outside of handing the ball to Webb in the run game. Offensively, they don't have much of an identity. So I feel like right now, I'm going with Georgia Tech in this game just because I feel like that's really the safe pick. And yeah, you talk about ugly games. This could be an ugly game, but it's going to be a lot of ball on the ground. And right now, so I think it's going to be Tech, and that's what I'm picking.
Mark, I'm going to take Georgia Tech too. You look at a Jekyll and Hyde team. Georgia Tech finished the 2014 season as the Orange Bowl champion, beating Mississippi State. Paul Johnson had some very kind words to say about the quality of opponent coming out of the SEC. Then they went last year and went 3-9. There are 3 wins. Check this out. Their 3 wins were Alcorn State, Tulane, and of course, much like Tulane and Alcorn State, Florida State. So they go and they beat 2 smaller schools and then upset Florida State. But here's the thing about Georgia Tech and the triple option. Chad mentioned it. The triple option offense is kind of like facing a knuckleball pitcher in baseball. You dread it going into the day of the game. You're not looking forward to it. You hate playing against the knuckleball pitcher, and then it messes up your swing for 3 or 4 days after that. I think Vanderbilt's defense is good, but I don't think they match up well against the triple option offense. Vanderbilt's defense is very much a pursuit defense and very much a gang tackling type defense, not built to win the one-on-one battles. Of course, the triple option offense, you're looking at the defensive ends and defensive tackles and those outside linebackers as that one-on-one matchup. So I think Georgia Tech matches up well against Vanderbilt. The Georgia Tech's got some guys returning. Justin Thomas there at quarterback, he's got experience. They return their top 3 rushers and they return their top 2 receivers. So I think Georgia Tech is going to win the one-on-one battle. I like Georgia Tech in this game. Vanderbilt's offense, even with the 47 points they put up against MTSU, I just don't think Vanderbilt's offense is going to do enough to go on the road into Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta and win that game.
I think, luckily for Vandy, I think the Georgia Tech offense hasn't really hit its stride yet. I watched a good bit of that Boston College game to open up the season there. So, but yeah, I think if you go back to Vanderbilt, and they have the second least efficient passing game in all of college football right now, and the running game hasn't been much better. Ralph Webb just carrying that by himself. He needs more help. So, I did mention, or I'm going to mention, they did stop a dangerous Middle Tennessee State team. I thought would give them a little bit of problems last week. Though Kyle Shermer, he played all the meaningful snaps. They actually stuck with him for a good bit this time. But he only had 15 of 28 for 113 yards and a touchdown. I think Vandy needs this win for bowl hopes. I thought they responded well against Middle Tennessee, but I kind of agree. I think that Georgia Tech offense, I think, will find its groove against this Vanderbilt defense. And a defense I like, but like Mike mentioned, not necessarily a good matchup for this type of Georgia Tech offense. But I think another good close game here with Vanderbilt and Georgia Tech.